With 20 minutes to go in this college basketball season, all the talk is about Gonzaga, North Carolina, and who will cut down the nets. There's absolutely zero focus on a team like Georgetown until they made a big splash of news today, hiring the greatest player in Georgetown history and 2008 Hall of Fame inductee, Patrick Ewing. Ewing is a legend, and as great as Mourning or Iverson were when they wore the Hoyas jersey, no one was better than Ewing, guiding them to a national championship, a former player of the year, an NBA great. Now, there's a lot of questions surrounding this move because although it seems great to hire the greatest player in your program history, a guy with a lot of big name cachet, does that big name still resonate with high school kids? Do they really know how great Patrick Ewing was or even who Patrick Ewing is? For a guy that only has coaching experience with 4 different teams on the associate coach level, where most recently he was on Steve Clifford's bench with the Charlotte Hornets, but he's never been a college coach. Does he know how to recruit? Will he be motivated to recruit? There's a lot of questions, but this was the only answer, and it was the guy that Big John Thompson Jr. wanted, and we know as Big John wants, he gets. His son, John Thompson III, I think the message just ran thin. With Thompson's running the program for the better part of the last 40 years, I think they had to go with a change of pace, and even though Patrick Ewing isn't blood related to the Thompsons, he kind of feels like he's cut from that mold, right? Let's just think about what made Ewing and the Hoyas great under the Big John Thompson. Defense and rebounding, and that's something I think that you can start to build with Patrick Ewing as the coach. This is a guy who in his Van Gundy days and as a member of the Van Gundy coaching tree, not just playing under Jeff, but coaching under Stan, both of those guys really put an emphasis on defense and rebounding, and that's a great way to build a program back up from the ground. And that's where the Hoyas are coming from. Below 500 at 14-18 this season, only 5 wins in conference in the Big East Conference. They were just awful. And like I said, I think the Thompson message just ran thin and they needed a change of pace. That's something Ewing can provide. This was the only answer for me, and one that I think will resonate with high school kids, especially big men. You want to recruit big men? This is a guy that helped Yao Ming reach his potential, coached up Dwight Howard, and was a damn great big man in his own right. So if you're a big in the DMV area, and let's just face it, that's really all he has to recruit because there's so much ripe talent from the Baltimore and DMV, as they call it, area right there, right by the hilltop where he'll be coaching. There's certainly questions, but I think this was the only answer. And I think a few years from now, we'll look back and say the Hoyas got it right. Best idea ever tonight, bring back a legend, the legend when it comes to Georgetown hoops.